Hello, how are you? Good to see you. My name is Yusuke Komura and I will be giving a concert in Bangkok on Friday, 29th of November 2024 as part of the second Thailand International Piano Festival. This festival has been going on through this November and I hope you're enjoying the live performances by these amazing Thai pianists. Shout out to the pianists and all the organizers. It is the second year since the festival was created. Last year I was ordered to play the piece that I thought was completely impossible and looks like this. Somehow managed to make it to the performance. So here's the secret of improving at piano, not accepting the idea that it might be too hard. Our artistic director Mr. Poo likes to challenge pianists with these challenging and athletic programs. But as a result, pianists are showcasing most incredible programs like the complete Chopin Etude, Beethoven's Hammer Clavier, or the 5 mid to late scraping sonatas. It's just blowing my mind. And the fact that so many young Thai pianists are playing off such demanding program really speaks to the high quality of the music industry, particularly the classical music of Thailand. This year I was challenged to perform the 2 Rachmaninov Sonatas. Both are very special pieces to me because those are the pieces that really marked the important parts of my musical life. Rachmaninov Sonata No.1 in D minor, opus 28. The first time I heard this sonata, I was probably about 13 years old. I used to listen to the classical music program on FM radio. Yes. This is the time before YouTube and streaming services. And I will record it on a cassette tape that looks like this. Do you remember this or do you know this? It seems like such a long time ago. And one night this Rachmaninov Sonata No.1 came on. And I remember the radio presenter, very famous Japanese pianist, saying that the pianists don't ever want to play this piece. Pianists will look at the score and just say no. And push it away. I can kind of understand now because it's very complex. It demands a lot from the players. I listened to the recording by Boris Berezovsky that was played on the radio over and over again because particularly the first movement gave such an amazing climax in the middle of the first movement. The first sonata was initially based on Faust by Goethe. It's a story about a scholar named Faust who have studied and mastered every subject in the world, but he could not satisfy his thirst for infinite knowledge. And one day a poodle followed him home and finally revealed his true form, a devil called Mephistopheles. And they make a deal that if Mephistopheles managed to give Faust the most transcendental, blissful moment that satisfies his thirst for knowledge, then Faust will serve him in eternity in hell. I think we can empathize with this kind of thirst for knowledge, especially when I come across informations like Big Bang and the cosmic microwave background, or thinking about the unobservable universe that is too far away for us to even just observe. I will feel the thirst for knowledge. So the first movement of this sonata has this mystical and mysterious sonorities throughout. It gradually builds up as if a star is forming, and finally arrives at this otherworldly, transcendental and blissful moment. And Rachmaninoff's writing here is like a continuous explosion of bright colors, which perfectly depicting the exhilaration. I truly believe this is one of the best moments in the history of music. Rachmaninoff didn't continue to base this sonata on Faust, but second movement is extremely delicate and pure, which resembled Gretchen, whose soul ends up saving Faust after his death. The third movement, the finale, does sound like a hellfire with epic drama with tragic ending. This sonata is very unique and stands out from other Rachmaninoff's large-scale pieces. I genuinely believe this may be one of the best large-scale pieces that he's done. Sonata No. 2 is much more in line with Rachmaninoff's narrative of overcoming the tragedy into triumph at the end that we can see in the Piano Concerto 2, 3 as well as Symphony No. 2. This Sonata No. 2 is a solo piece, but the sheer power and excitement that this sonata gives is really beyond belief. This sonata is something I first came across when I was probably about 16. I heard the recording by Horowitz, and right from the sensational beginning of this piece, I was completely captivated. This sonata is something that I thought I would never ever be able to play, because at that time at least, it was known as the monster piece. But in my 4th year of undergraduate, I suggested to play this piece to my teacher Thomas Hecht, and he didn't oppose to that idea. He let me play. I was quite surprised, but he would never let me play a piece that he didn't think I was capable of. So I worked on it throughout the year and performed it for the graduation recital. Working and performing on this piece felt like the summation of all my musical career up to that point. I think the fun thing about playing piano is that you get to overcome the impossibility again and again. You can really see your improvement through your hard work. It comes out as the beautiful piece that you dreamed of playing. So if you're not currently playing the piano, whether you haven't started or you stopped in the middle, this video is the sign for you to start up again. I think this second sonata is truly symphonic with its very full texture, which is contrasted with a single line, beautiful melody. And throughout the piece, there are many polyphonic lines, often chromatic, showcasing that Rachmaninoff was really a master of counterpoint. And the climax of this piece is like you expect from piano concertos, that the waves of sound just numbs your brain and completely takes over your body. And I think that's one of the big reasons why we all love Rachmaninoff so much. It's like a drug. Sonatas 1 and 2 has many things in common, like a use of very minute thematic ideas in order to construct the whole large-scale piece. Use of chromaticism, use of dies irae, a beautiful slow movement from the first movement often that comes back in the later movement. And above all, the gorgeous melody, harmony, and the sound of the piano that we all love. Both of these sonatas went through revisions, especially number 2 has been revised heavily, reducing many notes so that the revised version is much lighter and shorter. But I think the original version is the full Rachmaninoff experience. Especially the second movement, the original has such beautiful moment, but he cuts the notes and I'm like, why? So if you're considering playing this piece, please substitute this bar to this bar, because I promise you it's the best moment in all of the piano. It sounds like rustling trees in the wind with the beautiful sunlight. It sounds like a million reflections on the ocean wave during a sunset that you see in your memory. There's a Horowitz version as well, which is approved by the composer. It's a very good. Aside from these 2 pieces, Rachmaninoff had impact on how I play the piano as well. According to him, every piece has a single point that was somehow the climax or the key point of the piece, not necessarily the loudest, and it was his job as a pianist to plan his interpretation around this point. This point really resonated with me, and I will still examine every piece I play to see that point and plan everything around it. It really helps to understand and interpret the piece as a whole. So, this concert is a good opportunity to hear 2 Rachmaninoff sonatas back to back and get to know his style and development. So hope to see you there. Bye.